Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. I am Old Man 102 with that extra 2 just for Twitch. Let's get you back on window. Alright, let's jump back in here while I have a little bit of energy left. Let's grab this transform group. Yeah, let's grab that transform group. Actually, before we do that, let's grab this one first, since I'm already on it. Let's duplicate it. Let's get it spun around to 0, and let's just drop it right there for now. Alright, let's take this one we're not going to need, and we'll delete that one out, and let's grab this one we're not going to need. The little 50, yeah, we'll get rid of that one for now. And let's jump back in here to this one. Now, I may have, no, let's just go with it. We'll see how far down we are. So line that one up. How close to the bridge does that take us? Well, you know what? Let's bring the T-junction with us, and let's flatten some of this area out. I'll have to come back. I want to come back off camera and completely flatten the top of this mountain back out. Let's take the, and I see another spot here that's pretty high. But let's take the T-junction with us, or a duplicate of the T-junction with us, I should say. We don't have that many more straight sections to add on. It's going to be somewhere in here. I'm not exactly sure exactly where that's going yet. Now, how do we want to do this? Let's flatten some of this out first. Now, do I want to add on to that, or do I want to pull another transform group down? Let's just add on to it. Actually, none of these were full length. You know what? I want to fix this. I want to make these full length again. Welcome back. I was watching the first part of your earlier stream. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to have to fix this whole mess. Okay, that one should be one length. I don't know how these got all messed up. You know what? I want to redo this whole section. These are all going. These were not at full length, and I want these at full length. I don't know how I messed that up, but we're building the map and might as well do it right. So I'm going to put this one back to full length, even if it means putting them all back in one at a time. Yeah, thanks for jumping back in there and watching the first part of that last stream. Hope you didn't miss too much. Yeah, what time is it? 1 o'clock. Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be on. It just depends on how much strength I have left. Alright, now that I have a couple full lengths stretched back together, we could take this transform group and move it down. I missed about an hour-ish of it because I was outside picking up some things before the rain comes in. Yeah, this weekend I plan on doing a little bit of winterizing myself. I bought a bunch of plastic and tape and some insulation. I want to cover some of the windows with plastic and do a little bit of insulating before the snow flies. Alright, so let's make this one a little bit longer. Now it should be a little bit easier to get this T lined up. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take this transform group. Let's duplicate it. Pull it down this way. Let's turn it that way to -90. And we can adjust the T. Let's get it lined up with the bridge first. So I'm going to want it about there. So let's pull it back this way, and then we'll get the T line back up here. So that makes that easy. And then we'll flatten that back out. Again, I got a lot of flattening to do up here. And we got to take this section and make it a hair shorter. So let's go 0.9. Oh, what did I do? 0.9. Nope. 0.85. 6, 7. No, 6, 6. Yeah, that'll work. Now that leaves us to come down here and then curve down, and then we'll run a road somewhere across what's going to be Beach Road. But I can't put that in until I figure out where the rest of the main farm is going. So now I take this transform group. Let's duplicate it again. Nope, I don't want that one. Crap, did I just duplicate that? Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't duplicate it and there's not a road on top of the other one. I did. I want to delete that one. I don't want that one. I want that one. Let's duplicate that one. We'll drag it across this way. Not sure where the first one quite ends. Right there. Alright, so what does that take us across the bridge? Well, we could put another length in. Looks good. Well, let's put a full length in and I'll delete some. Yeah, we'll definitely delete some out. So let's take the last few off. So that one. I'm going to leave that one on for now, but it's probably going to end up being a short section. So let's come back over here. because the length on this side should be really close to the length on the other side. Actually, before I do that, let's bring a T-junction down. Let's grab this guy. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to slide it because it's in perfect alignment. So we're just going to slide her down where it needs to go. Or close to where it needs to go. Oh, not bad. And we could just shorten this length up a little bit. So let's line this up. I'll come back and we'll shorten that one up in a minute. Actually, no, well, you know what? Since we're here, let's just shorten it up now. Let's go 0.8. Let's try 0.9. Nope. 0.88. Really close. Fill the gap, and we did. All right, now let's fly over this way. So now I'm going to grab this, oh, not that one. This transform group. And I'm going to duplicate that. We're going to slide that one over. Then we're going to take this transform group, duplicate that, and we'll slide that one over. So these two we need to slide over. So let's grab this one first. Should just about line up. I played a bit on Hollow last week because I missed the extra animals and it felt like a beginner all over again. I know, I've been playing 19. It's tough to get used to after playing 22 for a little while. I'm actually looking at putting goats and ducks in this map. If I put them in the other two maps that I built this year, it's going to cause a new game save. So I'm afraid to put them in those two maps because I really don't want to start over. So, but I think we're going to add ducks and goats into this map. So how well do we line up down here? Alright, I'm not going to mess with anything. So that's our first. Let's, that'll be awesome, yeah. So let's take some of this ground, let's just flatten some of this area here along the road. Like I said, we still have to put the train in, but at least we'll have part of the road done. Alright, let's do a quick save. As long as it doesn't throw any errors when we add the ducks and the goats. Alright, let's come up here. Let's close the road used. Just to clean this up a little bit. Let's go to gameplay, splines, traffic system. I should have left one parked car in the map. I did. So let's throw the one parked car here for now. Just so we have it somewhere sitting on the map. Alright, so we're going to take this spline And I have to put some user attributes on. So for now, because I don't know what the user attributes are, let's create a new folder just for today. So it's going to be new folder 4. I'm going to take spline 1, I'm going to go File, Export, Desktop, new folder 4, let's call it spline 01. This way I'll have the user attributes to put back in. So let's open that up with Notepad++. So I have to add these user attributes back in once we put the spline back in. We close that for now. So let's take spline 1, we can delete it out. Let's create a new spline. And we're going to go Edit, Cut. It has to go in here. And it has to go above the parked cars. And then the parked cars always go underneath the spline. So we're going to call this spline 01. Let's get the spline in first, and then we'll put the user attributes back in. Let's see which way the start and the end is facing. So let me just drop it here for now. It's actually going the correct way because I need to pull the start around to the end. So it's actually right in a good spot. So let's grab the start. Just going to pull it forward a little bit. And then we can actually probably drag, since it's going straight around, we can actually drag this straight down to the corner. Since we're not going up and down the hill, these two splines should go in fairly easy. It looks like we're pretty centered on the road. We'll come back and flatten that out. I don't want to flatten it out while I'm messing with this spline. So I don't plan on messing with these roads up here. These are pretty much going to stay. Now we got a little bit of a turn. Oop, did not want to do that. I hate when that happens. Got to remember not to tug on the green one. The green one's our height. Sounds like one of my neighbors is out cutting the grass, which is something I've got to get done this weekend, even though it's November. Unfortunately, it's been warm, and the grass is going to need one more cut. That'll allow me to munch up all the leaves at the same time. So at some point this weekend, I got to get out there and get that done. With working overtime on Saturday, I think I have some plans with my son on Sunday and Lily, so that should be interesting. All right, so now we're at a 45-degree angle for a little while, until we get around that next corner. Let's try and pull this up straight. Get it centered. Yeah, let's throw another point there. And then we should be able to take it all the way up to the where the bend is. I'm hoping to have a little bit of time for modding this weekend, but I have a lot going on in real life. So that's why I was trying to get some stuff done today while I was home. So let's get you centered right about there. Let's get around this corner. A little bit of gap in the road, but we can fill that in. Yeah, spend some time with my granddaughter on Sundays, always nice. Yeah, it's funny because I don't go over to see my son and my daughter-in-law anymore. I just go over to see Lily. Just don't tell them that. Oh, I thought I was close to the edge of this curve. I guess I wasn't. Yes, it is. I'm so happy. Two of my grandkids live next to me. Yeah, that's awesome. I was really lucky growing up as a kid. My parents, before they got divorced, built a house right next door to my dad's parents. So we grew up right next door to my dad's parents. And then my mom's mom, because my mom's dad, so my maternal grandfather, he died before I was born, so I never got to meet him. But my grandmother on my mom's side was only like 10 minutes from the house. So I was very fortunate to grow up with both sets of grandparents really close. And then my mom is like as one of 16 kids, so every Sunday used to be at my grandmother's house, which was total chaos. But I wouldn't change those memories for anything. Let's get across this bridge. Oh, it's not where I want to go. I want to go across the bridge. Let's pull those back out. So like my mom's side, there were 7 kids, but Sunday dinners at Graham's. Yeah, definitely. And most like all of my aunts and uncles were not there, but most of them were. There were one or two out of state, but it was crazy with all the women would be in the kitchen playing cards. All of my dad and my uncles would be in the living room, and back then there was no cable, so it was only like 3 channels, and they would literally have like 3 TVs going, trying to catch 3 different games at the same time, and then all of them would be on the phone with their bookies trying to place bets. It was like completely chaotic. And then all of our cousins were running in and out of the house, all getting yelled at. Get outside and play. It's too nice out to be in here. Let's back that one up a little bit. Let's take that one out. Let's push this one over a little bit further. Alright, so now we should be able to come straight across the bridge. So I want to make sure I'm pretty much centered in that lane. We are. Alright, so we could probably pull, let me turn my speed up a little bit. Yeah, we could pull this straight across the bridge. So let's get it, and I'll take my speed back down. Let's get around this turn. Let's bring that back a little bit. How's that turn look? Let's stretch that out a little bit further. How's that turn look? A little, that should be. Let's see what it looks like when we get in game. We can always add a few more points back on. Let's get up to the corner. But it's nothing compares to what my grandmother's, because she was 100% Italian. Nothing compares to what her spaghetti sauce was like. Not even my mom can duplicate her spaghetti sauce. Let's get around this corner. Okay, first loop is almost in. A lot easier without having to go up and down the mountain. We close to, yeah, we're pretty close to the center. Alright, let's pull this down. What I'm going to do is we're going to put the user attributes in, we'll save it. We'll go in game, make sure there's no issues with the first traffic loop before we put the second one in. Yeah, I've got some terrain flattening to do on the mountain, but not too concerned with it right now. We will go back and flatten out a little bit before we go in game. Shouldn't affect the cars though. Now I just got to figure out what key it is to close the loop. I think it's the letter O, but I'm not 100% for sure. How well do they line up? So let's pull that over just a hair. Bring it back. Put one more point in. And we'll slide it up just a hair. I think it's the letter. Let me just zoom in a little bit so I can see it. Oop. Hang on, move my camera. Alright, hold on, I gotta slow my speed down. Let's try that again. Let's pull that back a little bit. I think it's the letter O. Okay, perfect. So the letter O closes the loop. Now we gotta throw our two user attributes back in. So I'm gonna grab this guy. Let's copy that. So the first one is a float. We'll throw that in. And then the second one is also a float. That's easy. Let's throw that one in. So we got to check that. And then what do we have the other map set at? Speed limit, let's go with 70. Let's do a save. I'm going to leave the spline visible. Oh, I want to flatten out some ground first. That's all right. Let's do a save. Then we'll flatten the ground out, and then we'll jump in game and see how this traffic loop looks. And then we'll put one loop on the top of the mountain going on the southern edge. But I want to, now I can take my speed back up. So I want to take out some of this unevenness coming back across. Uh-oh. Why am I getting the spinning wheel of death? Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. I don't know why I had that spinning wheel of death there for a second. Say, please don't lose everything I just did. Alright, how do we look? Pretty flat. Yeah, it's pretty flat. Let's do another save. Let's see what this looks like in game. Alright. Well, that's loaded. I'm going to grab a quick sip of coffee. I know I shouldn't be drinking any coffee this late today, but it was the end of the pot and I didn't want it to go to waste. Alright, let's grab our truck. We're using blue today. And then let's see what that loop looks like. Alright, so do we have cars? Let's find out. We do have cars. That's a good thing. Are they driving in the correct direction? No, they're going backwards. What did I do wrong? I have the loop going the wrong way. Damn it! I've got the loop going the wrong way. Son of a... I don't know if I can reverse it. I may have to ditch that and put it back in. I had to drag the end around to the start, and I dragged the start around to the end. Let me look at something. Let me see if there's a way to reverse the loop. Where is my cheat sheet? Key bindings. How can we reverse a loop? Reverse a spline is R. Let's see if we can reverse this spline. Where's the start and the end? Up here. Can't believe I did that. I've built how many freaking maps? You think I would have known better. Let's hope we can reverse this loop. If not, I'm gonna have to yank it out and put it back in. Alright, give me the spline. Now if I go R, that may have reversed it. Let's do a save. Let's see if that reversed the spline. That would really suck. Lesson learned for the next one we have to put in. It went too far. Hope that reversed it, because I really don't feel like ripping that out and putting it back in. No, we will put some loops on the lower level as soon as we get the roads down here done. But it would be nice to have the upper level done today. Well, the road system on the upper level done today. Let's see if, oh, cool, that we were able to reverse the spline. Oh, that would make it so much easier. Yeah, I'm so glad that worked out. I was even thinking about messing around with some custom cars like we did in FS19. But we'll see how the map build goes. Because they can always be added in towards the end of the build. I'm just hoping and praying Papa can convert the monorail over. Now there's a lot of traffic on this spline only because there's only one spline in the map. But the more splines we add, the less traffic per spline there will be. And since I'm here, I want to grab a quick screenshot before we move on. Okay, our parked car did spawn in, so that's good. Let's see how this guy looks going around the corner. Oh, pretty smooth, I think. Wait for the next one, see how he does on this corner. Oh, nice and smooth. Okay, let's check out the other corner. This corner looks nice and smooth. That corner looks nice and smooth. Let's go down and look at this big corner. We got a little bit of flattening to do up here yet. Looks like we got lots of flattening to do up here yet. It'd be nice to see the limousine running around here on the map again, and the old pickup truck, a couple of the old cars. If we can get them converted over. Yeah, this corner looks pretty smooth as well. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's get another loop done. Now I gotta remember to pull the end around to the start, not the start around to the end. Well, we can always reverse it. Alright, so the next loop I want to go is around the southern edge. So let's start over here. And now we're going to go, so traffic's got to go in this direction. So let's create a new spline. We'll go edit, cut, traffic system. We have to move it up one. So this will be spline 02. I'm just going to drop it there for now. Let's just add our two user attributes in. So they're both a float. Oop, float. So let's throw that one in. Let's throw this one in. Alright, and we'll go... Oop, what did I do wrong? Why does it not look like spline 1? Now let's try that again. Speed limit is a float. And max speed scale is also a float. Why does this one not have a little check mark like this one does? What is the difference? NC Farmer, good afternoon. I don't know. Did I mess something up on the user attributes on the first one? Let me create a new folder for a minute. I want to export this first spline again. File, export selection of files. Let's go to desktop. Let's go to folder 5. Spline 01. I want to see if I messed up the user attributes. No, I put a boolean on the first one. I don't think that made a difference though, but let's change it. So spline 1, let's delete the user attributes. Let's go back in. Let's delete folder 5 because that's the one that's wrong. This is the one I needed. Alright, so I need a float and a float. So let me copy that to here. And then we need to copy this one to here. And then our max speed scale was 1. That's a 1. This one's a 70. And then our spline 2, I got to do the same thing. This is max 1 and 70. Alright, now we can get this spline in. So I need to pull the end around to the start. So let's face it this way first. And let's see if I can remember to pull the end around to the start this time. That looks about center. Let's grab the end. And let's start going this way. NC Sim Farmer, thank you for stopping in. Much appreciated. Trying to get some of the road system finished on the upper level. Still have some flattening to do. So this map's going to have a few more traffic splines than the first map. Let me take my speed down a little bit. That's better. See if we can go straight across the bridge. Take my speed back up. How centered does that look? Pretty good. Let's throw a point in there. Let's get this across the bridge. So I don't plan on moving these splines. Looks like you have done a lot since the other day. Yeah, this is the second time I'm streaming today. So you can catch part 1 or on Twitch. So we finished the mountains. And before I went live, I did the map border. Because that's boring to do. So I did that before I went live. Just to get a little bit done. Alright, so we have another turn to do. Let me take my speed down. Yeah, because I won't have time to work on the map the next 2 days. I have a bunch of real-life stuff going on this weekend, so I don't know how much modding I'm going to get done this weekend. So I'm working Saturday. I'm going to try and spend some time with my granddaughter on Sunday. And then I've got some work to do around the house to get it winterized this weekend before the temperatures really start to drop. pull that in a little bit. How's that corner look? It's going to look better once we close the loop. So come back up to our other bridge. What state am I in? I am in Pennsylvania, near Lancaster. And it's actually this weekend supposed to be like Saturday's supposed to be like 68 and Sunday's supposed to be 70. So I want to get some um, winterizing done per se before this snow flies. Nice. For some reason, I would have guessed PA when you mentioned temps. Born and raised in PA, in the Poconos. Spent 6 years in Alabama, about 5 years in Delaware, 3 years in Oklahoma, and back in Pennsylvania. Favorite state that I lived in so far, even though I'm a Pennsylvania boy, born and raised, but Alabama was my favorite state to live in. Both kids were born there. I'd probably, if and when I can retire, I'll probably move back there. I know if my daughter had her way, she would definitely be living down south. But right now, she is where the jobs are, and that's right now in Canada. Well, jobs in her field anyway. Let's get across this bridge. My son, my daughter-in-law, my granddaughter are only about 15 minutes from where actually about 25 minutes from where I live. But in, I think, March 1st? Yeah, March 1st, my daughter moved up to Canada on a work visa. But she's a Southern girl. 6 years in Alabama. She was born in Alabama. Went to college in Florida, University of Central Florida in Orlando, and then at 5 years, it was a 4-year degree with internship, 1 year internship, and then she spent 6 years in Texas after college, and then ended up in Canada. So she's not a fan of winter. She's going to hate winters up there. She'll be ready to come back. Yeah, she'll definitely be ready to come back. I know the contract she's working on now is up in December, but there's another company already recruiting her. Let me go back to this point. I think I pulled the green one and not the blue one. So yeah, there's another company already recruiting her for when this contract's up. Also in Canada, unfortunately. But she won't have to move. It's actually in the same city she's in. Alright. But that's okay. She's doing what she loves. She has a double major in 3D animation and art. And she moved to Canada. She was working on the new Scooby Doo movie. And now she's working on the Paw Patrol movie. And then I'm not sure what the company that's trying to recruit her, I'm not sure what they're working on. Yeah, she's doing what she loves. Alright, let's close that loop. And then let's do another save. Let's see if we messed the traffic up with the wrong user attributes. So let's see if the traffic's working. Do I want to download Notepad? No, right now. Not right this second, thank you. She's worked really hard to get where she is. Alright, wrong one. Let's grab another truck. And let's see if I messed the traffic splines up if we're good. And then we'll put one more loop on the top. And then the traffic splines for the upper level will be done. Alright, so do we mess the traffic splines up? No, so that one's running in the correct direction. Is this one still running in the correct direction? Do I even have cars on the first loop anymore? Or do I not have any cars on the first loop? Uh-oh, may not have cars on the first loop. Oh no, we do. We're good. All right, so this second loop's going back. I put the second loop in backwards. So we got to so we got to reverse this loop. Just like I made the same mistake twice. So the first loop's going in the correct direction. The second loop is going in the incorrect direction. That's pretty funny. I can't believe I made the same mistake twice. All right, let's reverse the loop on this on the lower section. Now I definitely have to play the Powerball. Alright, so where is our second loop? I gotta reverse this loop. So if I go R, okay, that should have reversed the loop. Can't believe I did that. Let's let's save it. And let's just, before I put the third loop in, let's just double check real quick. And we'll get the third loop in, and then the traffic on the upper level will be done. A little bit more to do with the roads. I got to put 2 more upslopes in the mountain. But I don't know where they're going to go yet. And I won't know where they're going to go until I figure out where the main farm is going to go. And then once I know where the main farm is going to be, I'll have a general idea where the main farm is going to be. I just don't know how big it's going to be. And then I'll have a road system around the main farm. So the level of the map we're on now, everything's going to be based on the main farm. Actually, I don't need a car. Let's just grab some speed. Let's bump that up a bit. Let's just check on the cars. Let's make sure I got them running in the correct direction. A little bit of work to do on the mountain. So that loop's running in the correct direction. Where's the south loop running? Oh, this is the south loop. Alright, where's the north loop running? So the south loop is now going in the correct direction. Alright, is the north loop going in the correct direction? It is. Alright, so now that that's fixed, let's get the last loop in up here. Alright, one more loop. Where do I want to start it? Let's just start it up here. Alright, so let's go. Let me turn my speed down. Alright, so let's create another loop, or another spline, I should say. So let's go edit, cut, traffic system. We have to move it up one, so it becomes spline 0.03. And I'm just going to drop it there for a second. We have to get both user attributes in. So we go with a float. And then the second one is also a float. And you become 1, you become 70. Now, I got to bring the end around to the start. So this will actually be running in the correct direction this time. Does that look about centered? Yeah, it looks about centered. Well, if not, we can reverse it. We've learned that lesson twice today. So I'm going to bring the end around to the start. Yeah, with traffic should be going in the correct direction. Now, well, let me turn my speed down. Let's get this loop in, or this curve in. I like getting the traffic splines done early in the build. This way, by the time I put trees and stuff along the road, it's harder to see to put the splines in. So as soon as I get the roads done, I generally like getting all the splines in. And then the same thing with the train. We're going to get that train in relatively quickly so we can get those splines done. I'm hoping I get the train back from Papa this weekend. So I would love to get the train done on the upper level. Come on, I want the blue one, not the green one. That looks pretty centered. Now we can pull this down. Still pretty centered we are. Let's throw a point in there. Now this road will loop around, so we'll go straight here a little bit, we'll curve to the left, and we'll go down the mountain here at some point. I just don't know exactly where yet. But it's not going to have a traffic spline or a traffic loop on it. So I'm not making the cars go up and over the mountain on this map. It's just, those splines are just way too time consuming and a pain in the butt to put in. We'll see how this turn looks. We may have to come in and put a couple more points in. But you really can't tell till you close the loop. Are we still pretty centered? We are. And then the same thing here. So this road will come over, curve down, come down the mountain, and we'll have a, this is going to be a beach across here. This green's going to go away. That's going to be all water. I just don't have the new background yet imported into the map. And we'll have a road somewhere along here along the beach. And again, that'll straighten itself up a little bit the further along we push it. Yeah, I never expected to get this much done today. Alright, so we have, let's get around, I got to fix that gap in the road. But I'm sure I'll find some other gaps in the road. We just have to tighten up a little bit. Dixieland, old man's play. Old man had a worse reaction to the second shingles vaccine than he did the first one. But I had a fever before I even left work on Tuesday. So I left work at 9 a.m., ran down to the doctor's office for a 9:20 appointment. So I was able to clock out at 9. Started my normal time at 6 a.m., clock out at 9, saw the doctor, got my second shot, clocked back in at 10. I was scheduled till 2. So by the time I left work at 2 o'clock, I was already running a fever. And then by the time I hit bedtime on Tuesday night, I was up to 102 fever. And when I woke up on Wednesday morning, I was 102.5. So I ended up taking Wednesday off. I never got out of bed on Wednesday. I literally slept all day Wednesday. Fever, chills, body ache. Same shit I had with the first shot. And then when I woke up this morning, the fever was down to 101. So I said to hell with that, and I just took today off as well. But yeah, so I got so this morning I got caught up on some YouTube stuff, and then I've been putzing around with the map pretty much all day. The road, as soon as we get this traffic spline in, the road system on the upper level is almost done. So I'm actually glad I'm working, because I'm going to be short a bunch of hours today, but so Saturday would normally be overtime, but for me it's pretty much going to be straight time. Because this way I'll make up 5 of the hours I'm missing today, because I used the last of my vacation time yesterday. I have no sick time until the beginning of the year. So today's actually unpaid, which sucks, but I'll make up some of the hours on Saturday. So I'll end up being like 3 hours short for the week, which isn't too bad. Yeah, give me a minute, I'll show you what we've got done so far. This loop's almost done. Let me just make sure they're fairly lined up. throw one more point in there. Oh, we throw one more point in. And then we'll close that loop. Yeah, so I finished the mountains. I've got the map border done. So the map border's done all the way around. This green background is going to go away. I don't have the new one in the map yet, but that's going to get deleted out. And then I finished the road system on the upper level, and then we're getting the splines done on the upper level. Let's do another save. Let's see if our traffic's running the correct way. You should put a hidden moonshine still in the woods hidden as production. I've got some surprises for this map. Alright, let's see if we have the traffic done. And we'll check the log this time to make sure there's no errors. This time I'm going to only select the easy dev tools. Let's start the map without any mods. This way I'll make sure the log is clean so far. I make the moonshine and other, outlaws. We'll definitely do an outlaws somewhere. I've got some surprises up my sleeve for this map. Alright, let's grab another truck. We're using blue today, we'll stick with it. So let's head up top. So if you're just joining us, I have this pine tree is dead center of the map. It's a placeholder for now. So this pine tree is a placeholder for now. Let me grab some speed. This silo is a placeholder for now. It's going to be close to where it is, but not exactly where it is. And then right now those two monorail tracks are just a placeholder. I don't want to put the monorail in until I make sure Papa Smurf's done converting it and it's going to run without any errors. And then we'll put the monorail tracks in and get the monorail in. So the idea is you should be able to tip on the bottom by truck. And then I'm hoping to get the monorail running where we could dump on the top. This is not going to run on the silo script. This is going to run on the factory script. So this will be the bulk warehouse. So you should be able to, so if the coal mine's on top, you should be able to deliver your coal here. I'm going to be able to deliver it with the monorail. Dump the coal in here, and that's going to act as our bulk warehouse. And then the entire main farm is going to be built right here, dead center of the map. And then everything else is going to be built around the main farm. And y'all thought yep, Dixie does more than pies. So I haven't done any of the road system on the lower level because the road system on the lower level is going to revolve around the main farm, and then it's going to be built off of that. So that's why I was working on the upper level today. Now the upper level, we're going to have some elevation changes with the mining, but I wanted the road system to be fairly flat. Let's see if we have the traffic going in the correct direction this time. So that loop's running in the correct direction. That loop is running in the correct direction. Now, is the traffic running on the outside running in the correct direction? See if we can find our first car on this spline. I don't see any cars coming towards me. I probably have it running backwards again. Yeah, I don't think I have the traffic running in the correct direction on this spline. So I didn't run into any cars. Let's go this way. So what did I do to mess this spline up? I don't see any cars on this spline. Not running in the correct direction and not running in the wrong direction. Any errors in the log with this spline? Let's run back this way. I see no cars on this loop. Alright, so, oh, we do. Which direction? And it's running in the correct direction. Alright, so the traffic is now running on the upper level is running correctly. Now, right here, we're going to put a lake in, and I'm going to cut a hole in this mountain. We're going to put a waterfall, and there'll be a river running somewhere across the bottom of the map. Just not sure where yet. A couple jagged edges on the mountain I need to work on. We may try and speed that traffic up a little bit more. So this will bring us down the one of what's going to be 5 slopes going up and down the mountain. So this is going to take us dead center of the map straight to the main farm. And then right where this T-junction is, I'm going to have a dirt road coming into the main farm, and then the main farm will be somewhere in here. Alright, so now that the traffic is correct, let's get out of here. Or some of the traffic is correct. Let's just make sure that we are still error-free. That is a mod that should not be in this map. So I got to get the caravan out of this map. Oh, that's actually a mod. It loaded in the background. Alright, so the BGA is going to throw an error because I don't have it in the map yet. But other than that, yep, we're good. So far, we are error-free, but we're early build. I'm going to leave the traffic splines visible until I'm completely done. Alright, next on the list is a tedious task, but I want to get it started. Now, what side of the road do I want it running on? I think I'm going to run it on the inside of the road. So let's close that. Let's go create a new transform group. I'm going to create another transform group. So this transform group is going to be our power system. And then I'm going to create this transform. Let's go edit, cut. I'm going to drop it inside here. I'm going to go edit, interactive placement, and I'm going to drop it here because we're going to start our power system right there. I should have a power pole already in this map. I'm going to go edit, cut. I'm going to throw it in here. And I'm going to drop it here. And we're going to turn it that way for now. And then I want to get this guy, I think, as close to this corner as I can get it. And then how far back from the road? That looks about right. Let me do a save because I forgot to bring up a light in. So let's go. I'm going to grab 3 things out of the other map. And I'm going to work on getting the power system on part of the mountain anyway. So let's open up. Let's go into mods. Let's go into Ritchie's Creek. Wrong one. Let's open this up. I want to grab 3 things. Massive shout out to Papa Smurf for converting this stuff over from 19 to 22 for me to use in this map. I'm even more excited because this weekend I'm going to spend a little bit of time with Papa Smurf in Discord, and he's actually going to show me how to convert the textures over from 19 to 22, which I've been having a lot of problems with. And then once that happens, I'm going to start converting a lot of our buildings over from 19 to 22. I want to use like Walmart and Lowe's and McDonald's and Wendy's. I want to grab all of that and bring it into and convert it over. We are going to grab the street lights. We're going to go File, Export Selection with Files. We are going to go Mods, 4X, Maps, Map US, New Buildings. This is going to be... let me slide this over. This is Street Lantern Large. Do I want... Yeah, let's go capital L. Street Lantern... Oh. Street Lantern Large. I'll just make sure there's no spaces in there. Alright, that's better. So Street Lantern Large. I want that. I want to grab the stop sign. So let's go File, Export. Let's grab the stop sign. And I want to grab... there should be a fire hydrant down here by one of these houses. Did I put a fire? Yeah, let's grab the fire hydrant from here. Let's go File, Export. Let's grab the fire hydrant. And I want to grab one of the manhole covers, which is over here, which is floating by chance. Look at that. Let's go File, Export. That's all I want to grab from this map. Let's go into mods, back to the 4x, maps, map US, new buildings. These should all be dollar data, but I just want to double check the texture paths. No, this one, new buildings textures, okay, that's fine. That path is correct. We brought the fire hydrant in, we brought the manhole cover in. That's all dollar data, so there's no texture errors there. The light should also be dollar data, but I want to double check. Street lamp, oh, the stop sign. Stop sign is dollar data, so no texture issues there. And then street lamp large is all dollar data, so no texture issues there. Alright, so I'm going to bring in, let's go File, Import. I'm going to bring in the street lamp large. I'm going to go Edit, Cut. I want to put it inside of this power pole. And we're actually going to put it inside of dead center in the power pole. But we're going to face it towards the road. Let me take my speed down a little bit. So I want to get it pretty much in the power pole. Perfect. Now we can start. Now we can start. Let the fun begin. Definitely adds more detail to the map. I know this ain't too interesting to watch, but it has to get done. And then now that I'm not putting splines in, I can flatten this as we go when I see it's messed up. This map's going to be awesome because it's going to feel like FS19, but it's going to play like FS22. I have two names in mind. Not sure which one I'm going to go with yet. But even if I do decide on the name, probably not going to reveal it until the very end. Now here's where the fun begins, when we start getting to curves. So I'm going to leave that one like it is. I am going to duplicate this one again, just where it is. And then I'm going to turn it, but I'm not going to do anything with it yet. So that line is just going to go straight in the middle of nowhere for now. This guy's going to get turned close to where it's going to go. And then I duplicate it again, and we push it forward. Close to where it's going to go. Even if I leave a gap there, that's fine. We'll take care of that in a minute. So that's going to end up about there. And then I duplicate it again. Then it goes this way to minus 45. And then I'm going to duplicate it again. Then we're going to come back this way and line this guy up. Now that one's our good one. Now let's go back one. So this one has a couple extra pieces in it. So this one, we don't need the power poles going, or we don't need the wires going. Okay, sorry, wrong one. That one I'm not going to mess with. It's this one that we need to mess with. So this one, we don't need the wires going that way, so they can come out. I don't need the extra street light, so that can come out. It's going to have an extra pole in it, so that can come out. So that one should, so this one should now be fine. So all I need is the wood going in this direction. The one above it, we're going to stretch the wires out a little bit further. And they're going to touch here, which is exactly what I wanted to do. Now this one also has an extra light in it, so that light can go. And it should have an extra pole in it, so that pole can go. So that one should now be fixed going that way. The one above it, we have to take out the extra wires going that way. The street light can stay where it is because that's the only one left in it. This one, let's see if there's an extra power pole in there. I'm just going to slide that out. There's not, so I'm going to slide that back. So that one's fine. So now that one's fine. So the one behind it should be fine as well. And that's how I get these to go around the corner and look halfway decent. So let's go back to this one, and make sure it has no extra parts in it. So that one should now be fine. I don't think there's any extra parts in it. Let's just make sure there's only one power pole in there. There is. So let's slide that back. And there's only one light in it. So that one's fine. So now this one we can continue on. Let me do a quick save. Alright, let's continue getting some more of this in. Now we're at a 45-degree angle because we're still on the curve of the road. So we have another partial curve to go around here shortly. And we're going to do the same thing. So that one's going to be fine. Let's duplicate it again. And then that one should be fine. So let's come up here. How close to the corner do we want it? So the road changes there. So I'm actually going to leave it there. I'm going to stretch this last wire out a little bit further. So this one gets duplicated, and all we do is turn it. It's going to go about there. And then I duplicate it again, and I just keep going, and then I go back and fix them all, because I found out that's the easiest way to put these in. So that one's going to go in that direction. I'm going to duplicate it again, and I'm going to flip it this way back to 0. So now this one is perfectly straight and even with the world. And I'm going to duplicate it one more time. And we come back this way, and then we go back and fix all the previous ones. So that one goes there. So we know that one's good. This one has extra parts in it. Nope, that one is actually fine. This one has the extra parts in it. So this one, we need to delete the extra lines going that way. We need to delete the extra street light, so that one come out. And then this one should have an extra power pole in it, so let's delete that out. So that one's fixed. So all we need is the extra cross members on top of the pole. So we go to the previous one, and then we need to make this guy a little bit shorter. Let's go 2.13. So that's going to line up with our conductors. This one still has an extra street light in it, so we'll take the street light out. And it should have an extra power pole in it, so we'll take that out. So this one should now be good going that way. The previous one, we need to take out the extra wires going that way. It only has the one street light in it, and I think it only has the one pole, but let me double check. Yep, so let's put that pole back. So that one should be fine. And we go to the previous one, and I think the only thing we have to do with this one is to make the wires a little bit longer. Yep, and then it should all line up. So this one, we're going to make this guy a little bit longer. Just like that. So now this curve is done, and we're back to the last one. So we're back to this one. And we're just going to run this down this edge of the map. There's no really quicker way to put these in. I should have started on the other southern edge of the map, but I didn't. Now this one, let's see where it lines up. We're going to probably change this up. I may change this up a little bit depending on where this next pole falls. What I want to do is I want to line the pole up with the one coming up the mountain as close to this corner as I can get it. So what I'm probably going to do is stretch these wires out a little bit further on that one. So this one, I actually want right about here. And then, because we're not going to have wires running across the bridge, we're going to have wires running down the mountain right here. So this one's going to line up just about perfect. So let me duplicate this one. And we're going to have to stretch those wires out a little bit further. So that one's going to go about there. And then we'll continue down this way. So now we can go back and fix. So that one's fine. So that one's fine. This one is fine. So the one before it, we have to stretch them out a little bit further. And then the one before it, we're going to have to stretch out a little bit further. And then I think the one before it was fine. Now, I'm going to take, before I leave this area, I'm going to take, which one is it? This one. I am going to, let's duplicate it. Let's go over this way. Try and get it sort of where I want it. I'm actually going to go the opposite way. No, because the only thing I want is the cross member on top of that pole. I'm going to leave it like that for a second. I'm going to duplicate this again. I'm going to bring it back and see where it lines up. And I'm going to bring it straight down. I'm going to bring it back, I think, just a hair. But now I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to get it to line back up with this guy. You'll see why here in a second. So now I've got to come into here, and I've got to take this guy, and we start tilting him up until he meets up with our conductors on the top. And then we take the other lines going down out. Sometimes you got to tweak it a little bit. Alright, I need it to come up. Which direction is up? X is up. Alright, so that's going to, too much. So let's take X to 5 5.4, 5.5, 5.55. So that's going to be lined up. We got some extra parts and pieces, not in this one, but in the previous one. So that one I'm not going to touch for a minute. So this guy, going that way, I'm going to get rid of the wires. I'm going to get rid of the extra street light, and we should have an extra power pole. I can delete that out. And then I got to take this guy. We have to make his wires a little bit shorter now. So this guy's going to go down. What did I mess up? 2.1 is going to be too long. 2.03. Now it's going to have to come down just a hair, which is my X, I think. It is. Let's go 5.4. Let's go 5.3. That's about right. And then, so that guy's now in place. So it comes up and hooks up with that guy. We have our cross member, so it doesn't, nothing looks out of place. And then we take this guy. This guy doesn't have any extra pieces in it. I'm going to duplicate him, but we're going to take him to minus 90 because he's going to be pretty well lined up. I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to take him back to my original length, which is 2.1. I'm going to get him sort of lined up there. And then we have to bring him down. Oh, I moved the wrong one. Hold on. I got to back that up. That becomes 2.1. I got to pull the whole thing back a little bit further. Let's go about there for now. And then this guy has to come down to about there. And then we take him and we bring him up. And then I'm going to duplicate him, and then we'll just take the extra wires and pieces out. So let's swing this guy over, get them kind of lined up. And we got to lower him a little bit, which I think is it the X position? Yeah, so he's got to come down a little bit. So 1.75, and we got to make him a little bit shorter. So let's go 2 on the length. No, 2. Let's go 2.03. It's going to get it close. Let's go 2.0. Let's go back to 4. That's better. Alright, so let's take a look at this guy. So this guy, actually the one above it, this is the one I don't need the wires. So the wires can come out, the extra street light can come out, and the extra pole can come out. And then I think that guy is now good. So all I need are the cross members in the correct position. So the one above it, I don't think I need to do anything with. I think that guy's good. He matches up to this guy, and that guy's fine. So So that guy should be fine. That one should be fine. So now we take this one, and I'm going to duplicate him, but we're going to take him, we're going to move him back to 180 minus 90 minus 180, and I'm going to get him back, and we'll bring him down, and we'll make sure it's, I'm going to actually take him off the road just a little bit further, and then we'll do the same thing. I'm going to pull him back a little bit further, so get the wires about close. Let's just make sure I am at my correct length. Let's just go 2.1. So our wires are about the correct length. So now we take this guy and we bring him down a little bit. We're going to have to bring him down a little bit further and then shorten him up. Okay, he's not going to line up perfectly, so let's just twist him over a little bit. And we're going to twist him and bring him down. It's going to take a little bit to get him lined up. And let's shorten him up. That's going to help. Before I shorten him up, actually before I do that, let me take him back to 180. Let me take him back to minus 90. Let me take him back to 180. Let's get him lined up exactly where I want him first. We'll come back and work on him in a second. I want to get the one before it so I don't have to mess this one up. So this also has to go back to 0, 0, and 0. So he's going to perfectly line up with this one. So now this power pole is back to normal without any adjustments made to it. This one we still have to adjust to line up to this one, which is going to take a little bit of doing. So let's get him twisted this way just a little bit. Get the wires brought down. And then I'll get him kind of sort of where I want him. And let's make him a bit shorter. Let's go like 1.95. Let's go 1.96 for now. Bring him down. Oh, too far. So this guy, if we take, which way's down? This way's down. So let's go 4.7. That's going to get him at the right height. I've got to make him a little bit shorter. So 1.93, 1.95. So now he's lined up. Now what does he have in it? I think he has an extra street light in it. Nope. Does he have an extra power pole in it? Nope. So we put that back. So this guy should be fine. So this guy should be fine. That one should be fine. This one, let's just make sure it doesn't have any extra pieces in it. It has just the one street light. It does. So that one doesn't have any extra pieces in it. So that one's fine. Let's look at this one. So that one's fine. Let's look at this one. That one should be fine. And that's how we get down the slope and make it look good. So now I go back to this one. And then we'll continue our way down south. Then we do a save. I haven't saved for a while. I haven't decided on a farmhouse yet. I have a couple of them in mind. I really want to convert one over from 19, but I haven't decided what farmhouse I want to use yet. I'm going to wait until this weekend until I figure out until I learn how to convert them over and get the textures correct. And then we'll figure out which farmhouse we want to use. I have two in mind, I'm just not sure which one I want to use. I was going to use the one from Goldcrest Valley, but I decided not to use that one. Oh, a little bit too far. Now, we're not going to be able to finish it once we get to the southern bridge because I don't know where the downslope is on that side yet. So we'll just end it in the middle of nowhere for now. And then once we get our downslope in, we'll finish the power. How far back am I? That's not bad because you know what? I'm not sure where the downslope is going to go, so I'm just going to end this side here. And then before we move on to back around the other side of the mountain, let's do another save. And let's see if we can't get the power poles at least down to the other edge of the map on the opposite side. Let me get a quick screenshot. Alright, so let's fly over here to where I started. Alright, so this very first one, we are going to start working back the other way. It's a little bit harder for me to work in this direction. I like going the other way, the way we just came from. But either one works. What I think I'm going to do is pull one of the houses out of the 19 Ritchie Valley map. One of the houses that you can go into, like the garage doors open and all of that. If I can get it converted over. But I also like the house from that I'm using as the winery on the... Oh, I forget the name of the map. I'm drawing a blank. The house from that looks like a log cabin that I'm reusing as the winery. I forget what map it's in. May use that one. I swear I need to talk to my doctor about doing some memory testing because it's getting worse. Now, I'm going to change the directions a little bit. The house. Do you like the house by Elk Mountain? It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be one of the houses by Elk Mountain. Um, Crap. Hold on. Let me do a quick save. We'll jump into the FS19 map real quick. I don't know if I can. I'm going to use it only if I can get it converted. Documents, my games, Farm Sim 19. Which map is it in? Oh, is it the Prairie map? Is it the prairie map? Um, yeah, it's this one. So it's this farmhouse here. So it's this log cabin farmhouse that's here by the limousine. I think I want to try and get that one converted, and I think I want to try and use that one in this map as the main farmhouse. I'm not 100% sure. I do use it on a lot of maps I play. Sassy one. Yeah, you can go in them all, and they are all yes. So it's either going to be that one or it's I, it's the greenhouse on the valley map that also has the double doors, the double garage door. It has the front door, the back door, and the upstairs. It's going to be one of those two houses. I'm just not sure which one yet. Now here, I'm going to start going the opposite way because it's going to be a lot easier for me to put them in. So I'm going to actually duplicate this guy, but we're going to turn him this way to 90. And then I'll come back and I'll take some of the extra parts and pieces out. So I'm actually going to pull him back. So no, how do I want to make this work? I only need the wires. Everything else I think can get deleted. So I'm going to pull him back to there just for now. And we're going to come back and operate on him. And then I'm going to duplicate this guy. And then he's going to come out to about here. Then we're going to go this way to about here. Now I just got to come back and fix all of these. So I want to get him to about there. And then I'm going to duplicate him again. And then he goes back to 0. And then I duplicate him again. He comes back this way. Now I got to fix his streetlight. His streetlight's the opposite way. And I want him back off the road just a little bit more, so I'll turn that one just a hair. So this one's going to be the one we don't mess with. So its streetlight has to go this way to 0. And then this one we have to start messing with. So I'm going to need to just turn him a little bit. So he's got to come back a hair to right about there. And then this one has, what does it have in it? This one should have, are there 2 streetlights in there? There are. So this guy, we need to take out the streetlight. This guy should have an extra pole in it. Yep, so let's pull out the extra pole. So that guy should be fine. So the one above it, we just need to get rid of the extra wires. And then its street light needs to go facing towards the road. And then that guy should be fine. That one shouldn't have any extra parts in it. Alright, let's go to the one before it. We have to, the first thing I want to do is shorten up the wires. So let's go down to 0.03. That works. And then this one should have Are there two streetlights in here or only one? There are two streetlights, so we can get rid of the streetlight. So if it has two streetlights, it has two poles. So that pole can come out. So this guy should be fine. So let's go to the one before it. And then we can take the extra wires, they can go. We take the street light, we turn it towards the road. So it should now be fine. And then we take the one before it, and we have to shorten up the wires. So let's go 1.7. That works. So that one is going to have some extra pieces. Alright, so this one, I believe we only need the wires. Nope, crap, its rail don't match up now. This one we need to take the extra pieces out of. So this street light needs to come over here. So I think I can get rid of everything but the street light. No, it's cross. Now, how did I mess that up? Its cross member doesn't match up now. Oh, all right. Let's pull this back. How did I mess that up? Let's move the street light back to there. So this one, it's still not lining up. It's that extra cross member that's messing me up. Let's leave the double cross member on it then. So leave it just like it is. So let's look at the one below it again. So the one below it should be fine. We'll just leave the double cross member on it. So this one should be fine. This one's going to have an extra street light now. So let's take that street light out. How is this one? Okay, that one's fine. Let's look at the one before it. This one's going to be fine because we're going to keep the double pole on it. This one should be fine. I'm going to leave it. So I'm just going to leave them just like they are. I think all the extra parts and pieces are out. And then this one, we're just going to continue working our way down. Let me do another save. Yeah, we're definitely going to pick a house that you can go in. Just haven't decided which one yet. Let me make sure this one's at its correct length before I start messing with it. It is, just go 2.1. So now we can start duplicating this guy. Coming down this way. Everything is lined up correctly, it is. I am probably going to get out of here soon-ish. And we'll finish this up whenever I can stream next. But I am very pleased with the amount of progress we got done today. Yeah, I'm really surprised on how far I got today. Now, if I win the Powerball, I can do this full time. But I'm not holding my breath. Now, what side of the road does this next pole have to be on? Because it has to line up with the one on this side. Not really, because I can still cross the street. You know what? I can cross the street when we get over here if it's on the wrong side. That's fine. Did I turn myself around and start going in the wrong direction? I think I did. Where's this guy at? Over there. I did start going the wrong way. Yeah, it doesn't matter which side of the road I'm on. I can always cross the road. I may have made a fatal mistake, though. Did I remember to put the collision on this before I multiplied it like 10,000 freaking times? Does the power pole have a collision on it? It does. Awesome. It's the only thing I forgot to check. That would have sucked because I would have had to go back in and put the collision on all the power poles. So we can be on, I think the inside of the road is where that one is, but I can't remember. I'm going to take my chance to put it on the inside of the road versus the outside of the road. So I don't want it on this side. I think I want it on this side. This way when I come up the hill, I can sort of curve it over to here. So I think we're going to go about there. And let me duplicate this one more time. We'll come back. We have to stretch that wire out a little bit further. Now where do we want this one? We'll have to put this one on this side of the road. We'll have to stretch that wire out a little bit further as well. So let's put him about there. We'll come back and fix the last two. Put him about there. So this one we're going to have to make a little bit, nope, the one before we're going to have to make a little bit longer. And then the one before we're going to have to make a little bit longer. That's good. We can go back to this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work this down to the edge of the map, and then I'm going to get out of here for the night. Actually, we'll go in and we'll do a quick drive around, and then I'll get out of here for the night. Almost there. And let's flatten this out since we're right here. Then we only have to go up and down the mountain a couple times. Once we figure out where this next slope is going to go in. I'm going to go one more and I'm going to leave it here. Because somewhere over here, depending on where the road is going across to the beach, we'll have this will come over, curve down, go down the mountain, and we'll run straight across the map. But I'm not sure where that's going to go yet. But since we're right here, where do I want to start? Let's start right here. Let me do two things and then we're going to get out of here. Let me do a quick save. Alright. So let me come all the way up top. Let's close the power system. Let's create... okay, is that still saving? Why am I frozen? This is not good. Create. Why can't I create? Let me do another save. I'm frozen. This ain't good. It's going to crash. Maybe not. Create? Why can't I create? Why can't I create create? No, why can't I create anything? Oh, this ain't good. Let me do another save. I'm going to exit out and come back in and hope it doesn't crash. Alright, Forex Maps, Map US. Let's see if it'll open up. Without crashing. If I put this whole power system in for nothing, I am going to cry like a baby. Okay, so the power system stayed in. Why can't I create, there we go, transform group. We're going to call this one decor. And then I'm going to create another transform group inside of that one. And I'm going to duplicate that a couple times. So this one we're going to call stop signs. Let's go File, Import. Let's bring the stop sign in. This way we'll pick up with these next episode, or next time I can work on the map. We'll get the stop signs across the top. So let's just get this one in place. So let's go to 90. Where do we want it? About there. Let's put it about there for now. I can always move it. At least we got the one in the map. I'll remember to duplicate them. This one I am going to go with soar and hydrant. So let's go file, import. Let's bring in the fire hydrant. I'm going to go edit, cut, and paste. And we'll throw it there for now, and we'll fix it in a second. Let's go file, import. I want to bring in the manhole cover. Let's go edit, cut, and paste. And actually I messed that up. I'm going to take this transform group, I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to go edit, cut. I'm going to put it inside of here as a transform group. Now I'm going to take these two. I'm going to go edit, cut. I want to put them inside of this transform group. Now this transform group I want to put right here. And then this fire hydrant is going to also go right there. So is it close to where the transform group is? Let me slide it over just a little bit. So that's close to where the transform group is. Perfect. So that guy, and then the manhole cover, we're going to throw right about there for now. Alright, so the fire hydrant, which way is it facing? It's actually facing the correct direction. Let's check its height. We can leave it right about there. How far off the road do we want it? I'm going to put it right about there. Manhole cover, it looks like it's about perfect. It's pretty much center of the street. How's its height? Height actually doesn't need to come down a little bit. I'm going to take it down a little bit. So what does that look like? Actually, that looks about right. So now all I could do is just take this transform group and duplicate it and just keep sliding it down and put it where we want it. So, but that'll be a project for next time. So let's do a save. Do a quick drive around the map. I'm going to take one or two more screenshots and now I'm going to get out of here. Grab some dinner and relax for a couple hours before bed. Alright, let's make sure this is going to load without any errors. So let's jump over to here. Let's turn this on. That red is a mod, so don't worry about that. The warning is a power roller, so don't worry about that. I'm going to deselect all. I'm only going to grab the Easy Dev tools. Don't worry about these warnings. I don't have the BJ in the map yet, so that's why they won't load. Alright, so far no errors. Alright, let's lease our truck again. And let's head up the mountain. Let me turn this off. so I can get a screenshot in game. Come over this way a second. So I want to grab a quick screenshot here. Oh, it's so nice having my power poles back. Actually, let's come over this way. Where does our traffic merge? Traffic merges with the bridge. All right, let me zoom out a little bit further. I'm gonna wait for a car to come in the shot. Right there. Let's see if we can get another car in the shot. See if I can get two cars in the shot. I'm just gonna sit here a second. If I, oh, you know what? I want to picture the bridge as well. A little bit better picture of the bridge. Now let's see if I can get a car or two in this shot. I know, I'm crazy. Come on. As soon as I turn the camera, look for a car. One's going to come in my shot. Same one. Come on, give me two cars at the same time. If not, I ain't going to worry about it. I'm not going to get two cars at the same time. That's just my luck. I'm going to have to live with the one car picture. It's like me winning the Powerball. It's never going to happen. Oh, come on. A second car can come over at the same time. Got one coming that way. We got none coming that way. All right, I give up. Let's grab a little bit of speed. And let's see if the manholes and stuff are at the proper height before I start coming in. Before I come in and replicate them. Oh, it's so nice having the power poles back in. All right, so we have our hydrant. Hydrant looks about right. Manhole cover's not floating, so that looks about right. Stop sign is probably not in the best position, but it'll do. Ooh, look at that. I got my two cars. All right, now I can get out of here. I'm going to throw y'all on ending soon. I'm going to save the map and close it one more time. And I'm going to back up a copy, throw it on my external hard drive. I thought that would never happen. I never thought I'd get two cars in the same shot tonight. But appreciate everybody stopping in. Have an awesome night. I will try and get on at some point this weekend, but I'm not sure when. Depending on what time I get home from work tomorrow, and I get my YouTube stuff done, and I get Factory Friday done, depending on what time it is, I'm going to try and do a little bit of modding tomorrow night. It may be a factory and not working in the map. It just depends on how my day goes tomorrow. I will try and get on tomorrow, but no promises. Sassy one, have a great night, and I will catch everybody next time.